By most estimates, nearly a third of released Guantanamo Bay detainees end up back on the terror battlefield. But as President Obama works to make good on a campaign promise, nearly half of those who remain there are scheduled to get out soon. Here to react is Joe Connor, whose father was killed by terrorists, granted clemency by President Bill Clinton. Joe, thank you very much for joining us this morning. For our viewers, first, tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. When I was 9 years old, my father was murdered at Francis Tavern by the FALN, Puerto Rican.
Here in New York City.
Here in New York City, Puerto Rican terrorist group. They were arrested and sent to prison for 70 years on average. In 1999, when Hillary Clinton was going to run for senator from New York, they were given clemency. They hadn't requested it, and they had 30 days to decide to accept it. Finally, they accepted it. One of them turned it down, Oscar Lopez. He remains in prison. But it was all done to try to connect Hillary Clinton, who was a carpetbagger in New York, to the Latino community. And the claim from the Clintons was that these were nonviolent people, which is simply not true. They were terrorists.
It just happened to get clemency at the end of his term as his wife's potential run.
In August 1999, yeah.
A political nexus. So,
yep,
so as we look at Guantanamo Bay, which
sure,
a lot of people are saying, hey, we're releasing people for political purposes, you're familiar. Do you see a similarity in
Absolutely.
Guantanamo Bay?
You know, I spent time in Guantanamo earlier this year because I'm also a 9/11 family member. My cousin Steve Schlag was murdered that day. He was my father's godson. I saw the attacks that morning from my office. And I see that this is an absolute repeat where she's using now, wanting to release these terrorists for political purposes. She's playing Russian roulette with the American people.
So you're saying she wouldn't have any different policy from what Barack Obama's doing right now?
No, I think she's going to follow exactly what he's doing. And what they're doing is trying to release these terrorists without any backup plan. I mean, they're going to, where are they going to send them, first of all? When they get new terrorists caught on the battlefield, they won't know what to do with them. There's no place to put them. And they downgrade the people at Guantanamo that it's not American values. But I was down there, it is. It's the ultimate American value. We are trying to give justice to people who would slit our throats. And that is the ultimate of what America does. What the other policy that Obama has is droning people without any due process. So when they talk about Guantanamo being a recruiting vehicle for a terrorist, which is worse, droning people without due process, or actually trying to
of course, that's an absolute tired talking point they've used from the very beginning. And if I was there when there were 700 detainees, today there are almost 70, the worst of the worst being released. We would see that recidivism rate likely go up even higher.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the courtroom with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and the others, and these are dedicated, violent people, and it kills me. Who's fit to serve as president? Someone who releases terrorists for political reasons, or someone who doesn't? This is disgraceful.
Joe Connor, thanks for joining us this morning. You know firsthand. We appreciate your expertise.
Anytime.
You got it. All right. You know the famous